Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be unboxing and reviewing this new Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint Hydrating Foundation Stick. I was really hoping to bring you a full day wear test, but unfortunately this has been one of the craziest work weeks I've maybe ever had, and it's already 4 o'clock. I'm planning to run some errands later on, so if I do end up leaving the house, I will absolutely gather as much video evidence as possible, but in the very least you will be hearing my initial thoughts and first impressions today. I purchased 2 shades directly from Charlotte Tilbury. I noticed it's already available at Sephora as well. They retail for $46 each, and you get 0.31 ounces of product. I went with shades 6 medium for a tone-on-tone foundation and 12 tan, what I'm hoping will be the perfect bronzer shade. Right off the bat, I really love this packaging. It looks beautiful, very Charlotte Tilbury, old Hollywood. I love the white and the rose gold, looks very chic. Something that I noticed, and not a huge deal at all, I thought for a second they might be refillable because my bronze shade just popped right out. But I don't think they are meant to be refillable because here's shade 6. You can see the product is stuck down there, glued properly. The bronzer doesn't seem to be secured. It also looks like it's cracked and it got smushed up into the cap a little bit as well. I don't know why it's cracked directly in half, which is sort of strange. But you know, things happen in shipping. I'm just gonna have to be really careful, but it comes right out. So this is not supposed to happen, I don't think. Unless my other shade is broken and it is meant to pop out. It would be kind of cool if it was refillable packaging, but I don't think that's the case. I don't want to mess around with it too much because, again, it's already looking a little bit cracked and smushed. I want to go on record before I test these on the skin that I don't think this is going to replace my foundation or even a foundation stick. I see myself using a product like this as more of a no makeup, just quick, easy, even out the skin tone, maybe dab a little concealer, get out the door, maybe a luminous primer beneath a CC cream or beneath a foundation, and then as a bronzer. I could change my mind once I try it on the skin. I'm basing that opinion off of the pictures and videos I've seen, and I've only seen the marketing materials. I haven't watched anybody else's review. It might be a little bit too shiny for me. There's only one way to find out. I'm going to begin with shade 6. I don't have anything other than moisturizer on my face right now, and I'm going to scoot in nice and close. It's supposed to be a long-lasting, easy-to-apply, buildable sheer foundation stick with a lightweight, breathable, gliding balm texture that melts seamlessly into the skin. Hydrated, smoother-looking skin and fresh radiance, according to the box. I wear shade 6 neutral in the Airbrush Flawless Foundation. So hopefully shade 6 will work in this. I grabbed a clean BK Beauty 101 brush. Although it is so sheer, I feel like you could just blend this out with your fingers. Fingers, not a sponge. I feel like a sponge would probably pick up too much product. Ooh, I like it. But yeah, I kind of feel like my intuition was correct. It's more like the Hollywood Flawless filter in stick form. Beautiful, glowing, hydrated skin. It definitely helped even out the skin tone a little bit, but it is giving a little Tin Man. I don't know if there's anyone that is really going to want this much radiance in their foundation. And it's not something that I would ever build up because it has so much glow. I know it says buildable, but if I keep layering this on my skin, I think it's going to look worse. I think less is more. Because it does have a balmy texture as well. So you don't want to be rubbing like lip balm all over your face. Ooh, even my hands. My hands look really pearly. Oh, yes. The fingers do not lie. It's definitely giving glow, which is what we want. I mean, we knew that. I think if you have incredibly dry skin, you don't struggle with pores, you like extreme radiance and minimal coverage, you could probably use it as a foundation stick. I think There's probably a very small amount of people who are going to love this as their complexion product for the day. And that's not to say that everyone can't use it in some capacity, but I'm not sure. This to me is not going to replace my foundation. It is very balmy, not sticky, not tacky, but balmy. I just think in the heat and humidity in Florida, is this something that I'm going to want to have on my skin all day long or for an extended period of time? Maybe not. But I could see myself using this as a luminous primer beneath a matte foundation, something to balance it out a little bit. I definitely rubbed a lot of that off. I'm going to apply a little bit more and then scoot in nice and close. There's not a huge difference now that I've rubbed it in with my hands. I actually do think this might be better rubbed in with fingers. Bare face on this side, Charlotte Tilbury. It's incredibly natural. Even when I look up close in the mirror, it doesn't look like I have something on my skin. My skin just looks really, really juicy and plump, but it's not really emphasizing texture and pores the way I feared it would, the way I thought it might. Let's apply to the other side and see. I'm only gonna do 2 stripes over here. What do we think? Can you see it? I'll scoot in nice and close, and I'll turn down my ring light so you can really see it on the skin. It's really interesting. It's so sheer. It's incredibly glowy, but it just looks like a very light pearly balm. In the viewfinder, I think it looks really pretty. I'll be interested to see what it looks like on the computer whenever I watch this video back. In person, when I look up close, I think it looks okay, but it doesn't look like my makeup is finished. It doesn't look like I am wearing foundation. In my personal preference, I would need to put something else with this, something else on top, mix it with something. I think maybe going in with 1 or 2 little stripes of the Charlotte Tilbury and maybe 1 stripe or maybe 2 and 2 of a different foundation stick and mixing them together could look really good. I wish I could wear it like this. I just know myself. I know as soon as I leave the house, this would look crazy after even just 1 hour outside in the heat. If you have very clear skin, like no issues to speak of, no texture, no enlarged pores, no acne, no scars, no rosacea, hyperpigmentation, I think you will really love this for giving glass skin. I think this is the most ideal glass skin product I've ever tried. Okay, so let's go in with shade Tan. I was hoping this would be tan enough, or at least a good undertone. Going back with the brush. I really like it. Does remind me a bit of the Makeup by Mario, which I was playing around with earlier today. So I've applied it fresh in my brain. Gives a similar effect to the Makeup by Mario, to the Say Beauty Dew Bronze. You may already have a product that does something similar or gives a similar effect, but how many times have I mentioned wanting to pick up the Hollywood Flawless Filter full size in that deeper shade? Now I don't have to, and I actually think this stick is a bit more convenient. I like this vessel a bit better. So for a bronzer, I think this is really nice. I did think about picking up the lightest shade to use as a highlighter just in the center points of the face, but I stopped myself. I didn't want to get carried away. Figured I would see how I got on with these 2 first, but now I'm thinking it's not a terrible idea. Might add that to my holiday Sephora savings event wish list. Because the tint is so sheer and they're so balmy, they glide and move around the face in such a natural way. I noticed as I was blending this cheek, it doesn't look like it's moving anything else around because it doesn't really seem like I have foundation beneath. Everything just sort of melts into the skin in a way that it almost looks like your skin. If it just stayed like this, and hopefully it will, but if it just stays like this and it doesn't start to settle and cake up on my face, it'll be a miracle, but I will absolutely love this. Okay, so I'm not going to add any foundation. What I'm gonna do is a little concealer, a little blush, a little powder, because I'm not a psychopath. And then we'll just see what happens. I just pulled out my Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. This is shade 4 Fair from Charlotte. I'm gonna dab just a little bit of this on. Definitely playing into the natural makeup look today. As a former oily skin girly, I'm panicking a little bit inside. I haven't tried it yet myself, but I saw that Scott Barnes concealer hack going around. I think it went viral, where you basically apply, I think it's an Aquaphor lip balm or some sort of balmy texture beneath your concealer. It's supposed to ensure that your concealer will not crease. I'm kind of thinking maybe because the Unreal Skin has that balmy texture where it's just kind of going to sit and glide around on top of the skin, maybe it will help or act as a bit of a sticky base beneath the concealer so that it doesn't crease. It could look magical. It could also look like a greasy, smudgy disaster. I hope not. At least our blush is matte. This is the Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand in Pink Pop. This is one of my favorite blushes. It is so light and natural, but really pretty for summer. I do have a little creasing beneath the eye, just in the fine lines that always exist. So I'm gonna tap that out, and then I did pull out a very light powder. This is, I think, the only powder I have from Charlotte. This is the Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finish. It's really not overly matte. It's more of a finishing powder than a setting powder. I don't really love the compact setting powder. I think she has a loose version, or at least she did, but I don't have it. So this is the only thing that I have to test today, and why not? We're gonna do a full face of Charlotte. I'm gonna be very careful, but I do wanna set just under the eye. I feel like it would be pointless for me to powder the entire face after going in with a product like this. If you typically powder your whole face, if you like a matte finish, this is just not going to be for you unless you're wearing it as a primer. But it's definitely not going to work for you as your skin tint for the day or a foundation stick. I'm so curious to hear what other people have to say about this. If you've tried this, or as soon as you try it, please let us know your experience down below in the comments. I don't know if people are going to love this, if they're going to hate it. I feel like it could be one of those polarizing products where just on the right person, it's amazing, but I already know this is not going to work for everybody. I feel like I need maybe a little bit more bronzer. I'm gonna go back, add just a little more bronzer. Maybe I didn't get a deep enough shade. I also have this cream bronzer. This is the Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer, but this is very dark. I think this would kill our light, natural, no makeup vibe. I want to keep things as sheer as possible. Quickly finishing the makeup, I filled in my eyebrows and I pulled out this Pillow Talk Beautifying Face Palette, and with a fluffy brush, I'm just going to pick up this Pillow Talk shade, dust a little bit of that in the crease. I'm really not going to do much on the eyes. I didn't want to skip this part without at least telling you what I'm doing. Next, I'm picking up this pink highlighter and I'm going to apply this to the lid. It's very sheer, but I actually think it works a little bit nicer. We're going with the OG Pillow Talk lipstick. It has been so long since I've used this. So I'm just going to do a little brown pencil eyeliner and smudge it out. And then I'm just going to curl my lashes and apply a little mascara, and basically I'm done. Little Summer Fridays lip balm. My overall thoughts, first impression, is just that it's maybe a little bit too dewy for me. I think it looks really pretty. Even up close, it's not really settling per se. I don't know if it's incredibly flattering on the cheek in this area right here. I like the radiance and overall glow it gives right now, but I just fear that as soon as I leave the house, it's going to look really terrible. I still really like it. I'm not disappointed. I'm still happy that I picked up 2 shades. I just don't think this is going to be my everyday foundation. I will most likely wear this with something else on the skin. I'm gonna keep wearing it from far away. I think it looks really good. Actually, when I look in this mirror in the corner, when I look in the viewfinder, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. It looks glowy. I look fresh-faced, dewy. But then when I look up close, and I don't know if it's maybe the lighting in the room, but when I look close, I'm like, ooh, is this okay? Is this looking really bad and I'm just like psyching myself out? From a distance, looks great. And in real life, are people holding a magnifying glass up to your skin? No, of course not. But I don't have a good perception of what this would look like in real life, natural lighting outside from a normal distance, maybe a few feet away. The nasolabial fold, these marionette lines right here, I don't like this area to be too dewy. I don't think it looks very nice. So I'm gonna do just a little touch up there. Still not gonna go overboard with the powder. Again, that would defeat the purpose. And then I'm gonna run my errands and we'll check in later. I wanna leave you with some final thoughts. So after wearing the Unreal Skin Foundation Stick for a little over 5 hours, it did not settle, it did not cake, it did not get super oily. It looked basically the same when I got home as it did when I left. I was very skeptical at the beginning, but I ended up pleasantly surprised. I'm actually excited to keep testing it out using different application methods. I love that it's something different. It's unlike any other foundation sticks that I already have. And that completes my first review. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe.